Hello, SimTheWorld here, checking out a demo for an upcoming game. Today we're going to dive into WoodWork Simulator. Grab your tools and grab your lumber, because you're going to need those today. We can choose from 4 different options, be it free build, birdhouse, workbench, or the wooden chair. Since this is our first time playing the game, I want to get an idea of the game mechanics and the difficulty. So we're going to start with the easy one, the birdhouse. So let's get to work. Use your tools to cut away the darkened pieces of wood. Attach the pieces of wood using glue, and finish up with oil or paint. We can do that. The same developers that brought us PC Building Simulator are currently working on a woodshop game. You can see back here by the PC on the desk that this looks awfully familiar. This game caught my eye because it's attempting to do something I've not seen in a game before. They're developing a game that will give us the ability to freely build in the workshop, creating our own projects. But enough talk, let's get to work. So working with templates. When wood has been templated, parts to remove will appear darker. Hover over the piece of wood and press R to use the X-ray to see the final pieces. If your plans come from the project, the names will be on the parts. Let's go ahead and give that a try. As we can see, we've got all 8 parts for the birdhouse. So let's set this on the table. Let's come over here. We'll want to grab our saw. We want to start cutting out our pieces. Using your saw, hover over the wood to position your saw. Red line shows where you will cut. When cutting freehand, WASD will rotate the saw. Hover near a planed edge, and the saw will cut along the edge. The preview will be in blue. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut out our first piece. I kind of want to adjust the angle. This is easier to see. There we go. Now we know we got a straight cut going on. Come over to the sides. The other side. And finally, the top. That's not too bad. With that, we got our first piece cut. I'm not going to waste your time for the rest of this. We'll come back when I'm done. And with that, we've got all the parts cut out. We don't need the saw anymore. Place that there. Get some of these pieces out. Toss that on the floor. All of those pieces make a nice hefty thud. There's actually a garbage can over there. I wonder, can we put them in here? They just float. That's interesting. Go ahead and put these in the garbage can. Very nice. Got to keep a nice, clean, tidy shop. So, next order of business, we're going to take our front door, and we're going to use the vise. You can freely position the wood in your vise. Drag to change the position, use A and D to rotate. So, we're actually going to want to rotate this up, and shift this up so we can see the hole. There we go. Now I know what you're thinking. We get a nice drill here. Why don't we pick this up and using your drill. Over to choose where the drill, the highlight will show what you're about to cut. If a planed face is below the drill bit, it'll only drill up to the face. Hold the button to drill deeper. What I'd like to do is drill the hole out. But as you can see, it's actually not the right size. I've checked all the empty shelves. You have a nice bookcase. You got some boxes. We have everything we might need. Even have a pencil. But what we don't have are drill bits. It's the best I can make out that we want to use the chisel. Using your chisel. Over to choose where to chisel, the highlight will show what you're about to cut. If you're near a planed edge, the chisel will automatically rotate to follow that edge. Hold the mouse to keep chiseling deeper. Alright, so I played around with this a few times. It's not as intuitive as you might hope. So we're going to go around the edges here. See, sometimes it leaves that little notch, but actually, yeah, that ain't looking too bad. It's actually working quite well. See if we can get that little edge off. Ooh, that came off. We might have a nice looking birdhouse here pretty soon. Okay, we got that edge. We're getting some clean chisels. Oh, we made a mistake. Luckily for here, instead of redoing the whole cutting of wood, you can just hit the Z button. And that will back up and fix what we took out. Chiseling tool isn't too bad. I would very much like to see the full release of the game additional drill bits, because no one in the real world actually chisels out their birdhouse. And one final piece. There we go. That looks pretty good. Little notch there, but I'm not going to bother with that. No, we're done. We're done. That is good enough. I don't want to see that chisel anymore. And we're going to take this out of the vise. With it out of the vise, why don't we start putting together our birdhouse? If you're not familiar with how to build a birdhouse, because I've never done that, give us a little workbook. So we have our floor piece, we have our other floor piece in the post. We'll still need to make the post. Then we're going to glue on the front, the back, the sides, and the roof. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I want to rotate this base down. And let's go ahead. We're going to want to grab the glue. Put that on using your glue. Move over to click to choose where to apply the glue. This position will be attached to the other plank. Over and click on the target to choose where to attach the plank. Use A and D. Edge near the glued site, which will snap if they are already close to each other. Alright. So let's go ahead and we want to glue. That's not how that works. So let's back out of that. And we dropped everything. Fantastic. Now we're making a big gluey mess. Let's actually glue. There we go. Glue the bottom. We're going to place this just like that. Awesome. Don't want to glue it there. Alright. I'm going to set that down and we're going to get some of these parts right side up. Make this super easy. that on its side. Grab our glue. There we go. Put it on just like that. Same with this piece. Try to edge that right up. Perfect. Alright, let's go grab the front. How are we going to do this? We need... Let's just see if I can do it on the edge. Okay, that worked. It's all glued together. And we are going to grab the roof pieces. We'll need that one. And that one. This is our other base. Actually, let's rotate that so we know. That's got the mark on it. For this one, let's go ahead and put the glue right on the edge. Oh no, that doesn't work. And I've dropped it all. Luckily that glue solidifies really quick. Let's see. Let's take the glue, let's put it on this edge. And then we need to rotate with A or D. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting something that looks like a roof. How are we supposed to align that? Looking close. Not quite. Go ahead and attach it there. And let's just glue the other piece. This we're going to want to rotate too. That looks good enough for me. There we go. Kind of looks like a birdhouse to me. Rotate that and get a good look. It's not perfectly square. Roof pieces look a little off. Actually, the cut looks kind of short. Oh well. At least we got some place for the birds to go. Now we need to take care of that post. So what they gave us is a block of wood. We need to take this to the lathe. Using your lathe, drag to move the plank into the lathe. Use A and D to rotate the plank. Click the chisel to start the lathe. So this already looks like it's in a good place. We want to use the lathe chisel. Using your lathe chisel, over to choose where to start the chiseling. Use A and D to tilt, W and S to control the depth of the cut. If the wood is templated, the chisel will follow the template automatically. Hold the mouse button to use the chisel to refine the wood's contour. Hold W to cut down to the guide. Oh boy. So, we hold the chisel. Ooh. We want to go down. Yeah, that's what we want to make, is that post. We're just taking large chunks out now. We try to get this down to size. It's not how a real workshop would use a lathe, but this seems simple enough for us. Alright, and we are almost done. Have that little blue piece left, which it won't let us get. So, I think that's all we got to do. That looks like a clean post to me. Let's go ahead, set this down. We want to get the birdhouse. It's on its side. We want to go ahead and glue that. By glue, I mean not drop the bottle. Ooh, I didn't really finish that, did I? Oh well, that gives it some character. And I just stick that to the base there? No, I did not. Cool. That makes it easy. Glue that and attach it right there. Perfect. Move this down a little bit. And we're going to do the same for the bottom. The bottom will have that little bit of bottom will have a little bit of the divot, but that's alright. We want to actually line this up a little better. We can rotate with A and D. We do something like that. Alright. This actually turned out to be a birdhouse. So we've got paint and we've got some oil. To be honest, I kind of just want to paint this thing. Let's grab the red spray paint. Wow, that's cool. Why don't I come back when this thing is done and painted? And there we have it. I did go to art school, so please no comments. This is a modern piece that we are now going to put on display. If it doesn't disappear on me. Look at that. Any bird will love to move into this new birdhouse. Let's go ahead, grab our camera. So we can take a picture of this too. Boom. There you have it. This is WoodWork Simulator. So thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates for future games, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.